Welcome to this module on people management. Most small business owners love their craft, they love their trade, they're good at their product or their service, and they typically know their communities that they serve in fairly well, and they enjoy what they do. But every business owner I talk to says the most challenging part of what they do is managing their team, managing their people. And so in this module, we're going to give you some tools and tips and templates to help you become more effective as a manager of people. Managing people is a challenge. I'll just say that right up front. But you can do it, and you can become good at it to the point that you really create leverage and synergy in your business through the people that work for you. So let's start with this question. How do you motivate people? How do you engage your employees? I hear this question come up frequently as I work with clients day to day. And so the question is, how do you keep your people engaged, or how do you keep them motivated? In a recent survey of more than 100 CEOs across the U.S., 97% did not know what created employee engagement. Can you believe that? I was shocked when I heard that. 97% of the CEOs that were interviewed did not really know what created that employee engagement. We need to know, because we need fully engaged team members working for us. Research tells us that 70% of employees are not fully engaged with their work. Think about what that costs, what it costs you as a business owner, what it costs businesses all across the country when 70% of our people are not engaged in their work. So what do you think creates full engagement with your team members? There are a number of things, and we're going to get into some of those in this module, so you'll want to watch every session and study with us as we learn how to create a highly motivated, highly engaged team. Let's start with talking about motivation. The question is, how do you motivate people? And I think the answer is you don't. You really can't motivate somebody externally. You can dangle a carrot in front of them. You can promise them something. You can reward them. But the truth is, people are motivated. It's just a matter of finding out how you can tap into that motivation. And one of the great pieces of research and work that I have come across is a book by Tamara Lowe entitled Get Motivated. She has done some great research and compilation of insight that helps us as small business leaders to know how to tap into the motivation of our employees. Now, what makes work meaningful, and what engages these employees of ours? She gives 4 basic laws of motivation, and I want to give those to you right now. Law 1 says, everyone is motivated, we're just motivated differently. I think it's important for us to have that mindset that everybody's motivated, we're just motivated differently. Every one of your employees are motivated. They're just motivated differently. And if you try to motivate everybody or try to engage everybody's motivation in the same way, you're going to have some success, but you're also going to have some failures. It's important to study your team, to know your people, and be thinking about, how do I engage this particular person? Zig Ziglar used to say, there are no unmotivated people. And I believe that. And I want you to believe that. Everyone is motivated. We're just motivated differently. That's Law 1. Law 2 says each individual has a unique and distinctive motivational type. And I think this is one of the greatest contributions Tamara Lowe has made in this area. What makes work meaningful to one person is typically different than what makes work meaningful to another. And so as part of our assessment we're going to guide you through, we're going to help you understand what motivates each of your team members and understand the unique, different motivational drivers, if you will, for your people. So Law 2 says each individual has a unique and distinctive motivational type. Law 3 says what motivates one person may actually demotivate another. Think about that. What motivates one person may actually demotivate somebody else. And that's why you want to be thoughtful about this as a business owner. You want to be thinking about each of your people individually. And we must discover that each team member has a unique motivational DNA. And I'll explain that DNA concept. That comes also from Tamara Lowe. Law 4 says, no one motivational type is better than another. There's not one that's good and one that's bad, or certain ones are good and others are not so good. The truth is, there are different things that motivate different people, and we just want to have a good toolkit of resources to know what's going to engage each of our people. So as a foundation, I want you to think about and embrace these 4 basic laws of motivation. Now, Tamara uses this acronym DNA to help us understand motivational types. D stands for drives. Everybody has something that drives them. Drives are the internal forces that mobilize a person to act. And there are 2 basic drivers that people have. One is connection. The second is production. So every one of your people are driven internally by either producing, feeling like I'm accomplishing something in what I'm doing, or they're driven by connection. The feeling that I'm doing this with people I like and enjoy being around. And so everybody has one of those 2 drives, production or connection. The N stands for needs. Needs are the core requirements that a person must have in order to feel fulfilled. And so some people need stability. They want their environment to be fairly predictable, stable. They want to be able to go to work every day and know what's going to happen and know how it's going to happen, know the order of things that are going to happen. And they need a certain measure of stability. Now, you can never give people enough stability if that's what they want, to be honest with you, because our businesses are changing. We're dealing with our customers, and so there's got to always be some level of flexibility. But if you know your employees need stability, you can find ways to reinforce that for them. The other need that people have is the need for variety. Some people don't need stability, they need variety. They want new things happening every day. They want to be engaging with new people on a regular basis. They need variety. So think about your people. Which ones need stability and which ones need variety? Then the last letter is the letter A. And A stands for awards. People want to be rewarded or awarded for the work and the contributions they do. And so there are 2 types of awards. There are external awards like money, trophies, recognitions, plaques, those kinds of things where people are recognized in a very tangible or public manner. And then there are internal awards. Those awards or those rewards are the private, personal things where that person who wants the internal reward, they don't necessarily want the big public display, but they want you to just get with them one-on-one and say, I appreciate what you do. You make a great contribution in this particular way, and I just want you to know I appreciate it. It means a lot. For people who desire internal awards, that kind of reinforcement goes a long way. So I want you to start thinking about your people. What is their unique DNA? D stands for drive. Is their drive production or is their drive connection? N stands for needs. Do they need stability or do they need variety? And A stands for awards. Do they want the public recognitions and the external awards, or do they want the internal affirmation and the internal awards? And as you do that, you'll discover the distinct DNA of each of your people. Now, if you want to get Tamara's book, I highly recommend it. It's entitled Get Motivated by Tamara Lowe. And in there, she also gives you a code where you can go online, and she has this in the book, by the way, and you can take a motivational DNA assessment. In fact, you can give this to each of your employees. Or you can just reflect on them and study them and kind of come up with their motivational DNA on your own. The nice thing about the book is each of these letter combinations have uniquenesses, and she explains each of those uniquenesses in the book. I don't have time or ability in this training to go through there, but I highly recommend it. If nothing else, it will help you to just think about what's driving them, what do they need, and what kind of reward or award will serve them well. Think about these things and help your people engage their motivation.